So, obviously just really thrilled to get the win. Really proud of our players and coaching staff. We knew coming in here it was going to be really tough. I can't remember a time when that hasn't been the case. So we knew that. It certainly was. It proved out to be that way. So, a little bit like 2 years ago, it just kind of evolved into a little bit of a defensive battle. But again, you come into a tough environment. Thought everybody really stayed focused and played through. There are various things that took place out there. We had some things that didn't go perfect, but our guys really fought and played through that. And the biggest thing is, I think, we were trying to encourage our guys all week long, focus on improvement. And I think, we certainly played cleaner today last week. We had 4 false starts. Today we didn't have a penalty. There weren't many penalties in the game. So, ball security is pretty good. And that's always a big thing in a game like this typically. And bottom line is we knew we'd have to earn the win if we were going to get it. Our opponent played extremely hard, and that comes as no surprise. So just really thrilled about it, and looking forward to a nice quiet ride home. And I'll jump this one ahead of time, just the 200th part. I don't keep track of that, I can assure you, but somebody said something a week ago about, coming up the tunnel, it's 199, and then the media people who visit with them during the getting ready for the broadcast midweek, same thing. So long story short, just, really feel very honored and very appreciative. Fortunate in, whether it's football, life, it really doesn't matter, to do something that's, has some significance. Nobody gets there alone, and certainly in football, that's the way it works. So I just think about it, 40-some years ago, I landed in Iowa, not even know where I was, quite frankly, or what I was about to walk into. And commonality over all this time has just been around good people, good leadership on campus, worked with great coaches and great support staff members, and most importantly, players. And that's players win games, so that's never going to change. You got to have the right guys. We got a bunch of guys in that locker room. Really, thrilled to be with these guys today to have that happen. And a guy like Dallas Clark in there, I guess he got kicked off the sideline. I can understand why. But anyway, have him in there too. That's just past and present. So pretty neat, and it's a good ride home.
Your players did say that you were a little bit emotional in the locker room, or they saw that in your eyes. What was it that you were feeling in that moment that made you emotional?
Yeah, just, it's not something nobody gets into, at least I don't think they get into coaching for that reason. You get into it because of the people, and, it's one of those things, again, I never, certainly got into it for that reason. Wanted to win enough so I can keep my job. I figured that out, believe me. But it's more about the experiences and the people you get to work with, and whether it was that group right there or even going back to 99, just, a lot of good people. A lot of good people have come through this program, and it's a thing I don't think was any different than in the 80s either. So I've always felt really fortunate to have a chance to work with high-quality folks.
What did it mean to you to see your players swarm to the trophy? Because I know it was 8 years ago here. That was really meaningful at that point too.
Yeah, it's just kind of what we do. And that's a tribute to Coach Rye. It's in our DNA, I guess. And I don't know how much longer I'll be here, but as long as I am, we'll keep doing that. And so it's a good thing, and the biggest reason it's good meant we won, so it's even better. There's no swarming last year.
Players talked about how last year, how Iowa State went to the trophy kind of in front of your sideline, how that they remembered that. Is that something that kind of stuck out to you?
Well, I always flash back to 1981, Minnesota. And I thought, well, they were pretty aggressive, come over, shake hands, and they had no intention. They just split us and got the take. So that's just part of trophy stuff. And trophies. I told our players, anybody can buy a trophy case, but you can't buy a trophy. So to get one, to have possession of it, means you earned it. That's a good thing.
Kirk, I think every time we ask you about Caleb Johnson last year, you mentioned Jazz in that same breath. Is this just sort of what you've been kind of seeing behind the scenes? And does he run with reckless abandon, or how would you kind of sum him up as a runner?
I'd say he runs hard. He's a north-south, runs hard. Just got done talking to the guys on the radio there, and you think about Castro, who in the bowl game really. That's a cool thing about what we do. You just see the little things that maybe get you fired up. So he had his best game of his career last year in the bowl game, and then today, huge play for us. And that's just experience. That's anticipation, good reaction, and you never know when it's going to happen for a player. Sometimes it doesn't. I bring up the bowl because Jazz hit one to the right there. It's fourth quarter. I don't think it really impacted the game. It's like a 9-yard run. It's the first time I saw him live. And it's like, okay, maybe this guy's got a little juice in there. And we've been watching it in camp, and certainly today, he came up big for us. So really proud of him.
Seemed like the offensive line took a step forward today, especially in the run game. Two massive holes. What did you see there that led to that?
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be a process, you know. Just I think our whole team grew, and I think definitely on offense. We're doing a lot of good things in the run game. It's not always there quite the way you want it, and I think our pass protection overall is good. We had a miscommunication. I don't know if you guys noticed, Sean had to try to come out. He's laid on a back, or that was a communication thing. I thought maybe he was wrong, but he wasn't. So a few things we're working through, and give our opponent credit. They make it tough for you that way. But yeah, I think we're growing, and the thing I'm probably most excited about is I just think we have a lot of potential to continue to grow, and that's what we got to be focused on. We'll enjoy this one, but tomorrow we got to get back on that track.
Coach, I know you talked about
the 6-1 against Matt Campbell, a very highly respected coach. What does it mean to you to have that sort of success against a guy that the rest of the nation really holds in high esteem?
Well, I'm in that club too. I mean, I got a lot of respect for him, and he's done a great job. His staff's done a great job. All the things I just said about our program, I think, are very similar there. So probably the bigger story is you got two programs in a not underpopulated state, but not. We don't have 10 million people here that are playing, really play at a high level and, play good football in their conferences. So a lot of respect for them, just, happy to get any win. And, each game's an individual story, quite frankly. Yeah.
Coach,
Kind of fitting the defense made that final stop kind of fitting. What did you see out of them today? Really kind of held Iowa State down in yards per play.
Yeah, we started slow, deferred, and, so next thing you know, the ball's going like that. But we come up with the field goal block, and that's great effort there. And then once we got going, we played a little bit better. But they did a good job. They were patient. They're picking us apart a little bit and making us work. And but to come up big there at the end, that's what you got to do. If you want to win a game, that's what you got to do. And it was great to see that.
Coach, earlier in the year, you talked about that Purdue game last year. You guys got off to a lead, kind of took your foot off the gas pedal. You guys were still throwing the ball down the field this game, even with the 2 touchdowns. Can you just talk about the aggressiveness offensively you guys have had through 2 games?
Yeah, a part of that is how they're playing and what they're doing. And but no matter what the game circumstance, we're going to try to figure out what's the best way for us to win the game. And that's ultimately when we get on the bus. That's what we're hoping to do is come out of here with the victory. So that every game's a little bit different, but we got a little more confidence maybe in our throwing game, our ability to protect some of those things too. So that helps.
One of the things that they announced during games, you guys have 16 straight years where you've had a pick 6. That seems
I
incredible.
didn't know that. Wow, that's pretty good.
What does that mean to you guys? I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. And part of it's the way we play defense, and our defensive guys do a great job. But part of it, a lot of zone coverage, so we got our eyes on the ball a lot. And then you got, it's like Castro. I mean, a year ago I don't think he could have made that play, and here you are a year later where he makes a great play, and that's ultimately one of the most fun things about coaching is watching guys, get some confidence in themselves.
Coach,
See them doing some good things.
So sorry.
No.
What were emotions like walking into the locker room after the win?
It's always good. I mean, first win or whatever 200th, it's always good. And I think part of that is just as coaches, not just myself, but everybody on our staff. You realize just how hard these guys work, and it's year round almost. There aren't a lot of days off for these guys. I mean, they really work hard. And they do so much, and they're held to a high standard, character-wise, citizenship-wise, academically. So to see them happy and see them celebrate, that's a pretty good thing.
Do you remember your very first win? Who was against the feelings after that first win?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Who was it?
Northern Illinois. Yeah, it was not a landslide victory. I'll put it that way, since we're in a caucus year, a primary year. But yeah, I mean, and we were just happy to win anyway. We were, backed right into the end zone for that one. But yeah, I remember it. I remember it was a long time until the next one. So,
how many of the 200 can you can recall a lot? How many of the 200 can you recall?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. I remember the losses better. Just sick mind. Coaches have sick minds.
Yeah, Joe Evans was